Welcome back. Welcome back to the Hit Show Podcast. We're going to talk about a few things today. Give me a second. I'm waiting on my host to come in with me here. And we're going to talk about unrealistic standards. So the biggest thing I see online is the different standards between men and women. The men want a woman who is submissive, cooperative, and loyal to them. And the women want men that are all financially stable, is the number one thing, and faithful and loyal, right? So the unrealistic part to me, I'll start with the men, okay? With the men, they expect a lot of the women to be fully cooperative, submissive, and loyal just because they're paying the bills, right? So the reason why, because women require that, like the good women, the good looking women that take care of themselves, they clean, they care of themselves, they got businesses, they got goals. Even the women that don't have nothing going on, they all want their man to be financially stable so they don't have to pay the bills. That's what they want from what I'm hearing online. The women want the men have to take care of the bills. Men have to take care of all the financial needs. So the men want the woman to be submissive, loyal, and cooperative, right? So it's pretty much a negotiation, right? So if I'm bringing financial stability to the table, then you should bring submissiveness, right? But the problem that I see online with the men, I'll start with the men. Even the men that aren't financially stable still want the woman to be cooperative and respect them as a man, right? And a lot of times, with a lot of the women, not all of them, they won't respect a man that doesn't have their stuff together financially, right? Because they're looking at it, well, if you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of me? And a lot of times, men and women both, we all have had troubles and triumphs. You might have been sick. You could have been taking care of an elderly family member. You took off work. You got behind on bills. It could have been some type of emergency. Your car broke down. You had to take all your money, fix your car. And we've all been there. And like pink hair old lady, shout out to her. She said, broke is not permanent, broke is temporary. We're all broke sometimes, and you have different definitions of broke. Broke to some people, man, I'm down to my last $100. To me, it's broke when I ain't got $1. And I've been there to where I ain't got nothing. But everybody's definition of broke. But let's get back to the unrealistic standards with the men, right? Men, you have to understand the type of woman you're dealing with. All women are not the same, okay? Now, if you're dealing with a woman who likes you just for you, the financial stability will come later down the line. If she actually likes you, the type of person you are, if you're a decent man, if you're a God-fearing man, if you're a man with morals and principles, if she actually likes you as a person, then she won't be so hard on you with the financial stability. Now, if she doesn't like you, the standards are going to be a lot higher because you're chasing her and she's not chasing you, and you're not the prize because she really doesn't like you, but you're into her, right? So you have to understand the type of women you're dealing with, because all women are not going to be submissive to you just because you're a man. And really, I'll be honest, in 2022, I wouldn't look for a woman that's submissive, fully submissive, because it's the thing. Today, it's a different world today. Women work, women have businesses. Black women actually are the leading entrepreneurs today in the world. They are the number one leaders in entrepreneurship. It means black women own more businesses and they offer more products and services than anybody in the world right now. Right? So it's going to be hard for a woman to fully submit to you if she got all this going on and you ain't got nothing going on. I just got to be honest. Right? I got to be honest. Also, men, you have to do your research on how the women were raised. Were they raised in a one-parent home by their mother or father, or a two-parent home? Because it matters. What type of man did her mother deal with? What type of women did her father deal with if she was raised by her father? How did her mother treat the men? How did her father treat the women he dealt with? And what did she see? See, we don't ask those type of questions. A lot of times, man, you put yourself in a messed up situation because you just think that she's going to be loyal and submissive, cooperative to you just because you're paying the bills. And like I tell women all the time, any fool can pay the bills. Anybody can pay, any fool can pay a bill. It doesn't take a man to pay a bill. Hell, a boy can pay a bill. A male can pay a bill. That don't mean nothing. Paying a bill is not providing. You can be tricking and paying a bill because providing and tricking is the same thing. The only difference between providing and tricking is when you do it and how you do it. Tricking is pretty much doing everything when you're not in a relationship. You're paying her bills, right? You're taking care of her kids. You're buying her groceries. You're fixing her car. You're helping her around the house. If something broke, you fix it. Providing is doing all those things in a relationship because you have a title. That's the only damn difference. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? I'll just be honest with y'all. That's all. But when we talk about the women's standards, I'm going to get into the women. I had to start with the men because the men do have a lot of unrealistic standards. Let's get into the women, okay? The number one unrealistic standard I see, and I have to be completely honest, and why I say it's unrealistic, this is the reason why. The number one thing on the women's list for men is to be financially stable. Now, the problem is with that is, your definition of financially stable is $100,000, $80,000, $100,000. A man can be financially stable at $50,000, $60,000. He has enough money to take care of himself. The problem is, ladies, y'all want him to make double that so he can take care of himself, and you still work and keep all your money. That's very selfish. That is the reason why, as a whole, as a community, we own less than 1% of the wealth. That's why. Selfishness. Selfishness. Now, I do see a lot of black people that get together and do wonders. And when I see it, it's beautiful. When I see a full black family working together, owning businesses, owning multiple homes, multiple vehicles, starting generational wealth for the next generations, it's beautiful. And when I see that, it's wonderful. We all can do it if we put our minds together and stop being so selfish, men and women both. Men, let me get back to the men. Stop lying to these women when you first meet them. Tell them the truth. Because if they really like you, they'll accept your bullshit. Just being honest. If they like you, if they're into you. Now, if they don't like you, they're not accepting no garbage. I'm just being honest. Okay? I just have to be totally honest. Men, stop lying. When you meet these women, tell them the truth. Look, I'm feeling you. I like you. I like the way you carry yourself as a woman, but I'm going to be honest with you. And they will respect you as a man. Now, when you go lying to these women, they're not going to respect you. Tell her the truth. Like, listen, you're beautiful. I like how you carry yourself. You're independent. I see you doing this, that, and the third. You know, we could team up here in the future, but look, this is what I got going on. I'm living here with my such and such, or I'm still with such and such. But to be honest with you, it's not going to go nowhere. We probably going to end it. I got a couple of kids here. I got one there. Tell the truth, and they will respect you. And they probably still will take you because of your honesty. Now, when you lie, say, no, I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no girlfriend. Then they find out you got kids. You got a wife over here, a girlfriend over there. Then this is what they say, oh, all men ain't nothing. They're all terrible. Because then what you doing, man, when you tell them these lies, when one of them do it, when one of you do it, they think we all do it. They put us all in the category because you messed up. Y'all need to stop bringing that fake representative to the beginning of the friendship. You got a possible wife there and you want to lie to her about what you got going on. Tell her the truth because she probably got stuff going on. Most of us, when we meet somebody, we already got something going on. Just tell the truth. Because a lot of women, when you ask them, women would tell you honestly if they are involved with somebody, or they have kids here, or they got a husband, they're going through a divorce, they will tell you, most of the time, women, they're going to tell you the truth if you ask them. Ask the questions. But y'all want to lie. Okay. Ladies, when it comes to the black man, most of us come from the same community. There's no reason you should have these unrealistic expectations of the same men from your community. I'm glad, according to Iris, go to her page. According to Iris, if you don't know who she is, go to According to Iris page. She is an excellent podcaster. Excellent. She doesn't call herself a dating coach, but I call her a dating coach because she is excellent in communication. And she is excellent with the way she articulates her words and her message. Please go look at According to Iris. She is on TikTok and she is on YouTube and Facebook. According to Iris. Go watch her content. She said, as a young lady growing up in New York, Queens, New York, to be exact. Hey, pink hair lady, come join the live. I'm sending you an invite. According to Iris, said that she's seen so many black men, good, hardworking men, not just black, but men in the community going to work every day. Construction workers, city workers, wherever they worked, went to work and provided for their family. So it is so untrue. And I lived in the hood myself. I live in the hood now. I've always seen good, hardworking men go to work. But the small percentage that don't, for some reason, y'all throw us all in. And I don't know why. But pink hair lady, you coming in?
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm not calling you pink hair old lady. I'm gonna call you pink hair lady because to me you're
just
not
call me
lady.
Dory. How about that?
Hey Dory, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing so good. I'm just doing a little promo for tonight. This is just I usually don't even get on TikTok live, but this is the promo.
Okay.
I'm just doing a short segment on unrealistic standards. Okay.
Oh,
So
this is good. Okay.
So just to chime you in, I started with the men first.
Okay.
The men have very unrealistic standards nowadays when it comes to women. And the problem is with the men, they want women to pretty much, I got to be honest, a lot of men want women to bow down to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not bow down worthy. I got to be honest. For one, men, when you, like this what I was saying, when you first approach a woman that you are really interested in, stop lying to these women. Stop telling these women you don't have a wife, girlfriend, kids, etc. They want to lie.
Uh-huh.
3 months later down the line, she find out you got a wife, kids, girlfriend, a boyfriend, whatever you got. Right?
Right.
And then that lady gets so, it messes her up on the inside because you were the guy for her. And you weren't honest.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, that one time you messed up as a man, all men are this. All men are that. All men ain't this. All men ain't that.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because women, what they do when they have one mess up with a man, all y'all like that. Y'all, and that's not true. But men mess it up a lot of times. For the good men that really want that woman, the jackass will mess it up for everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Because sometimes one rotten apple does spoil a bunch.
Yeah, absolutely. And the interesting thing about that is everybody cries, I want a good person. I want a good person. But when they find that good person, they don't respect them because they feel wimpish to them or something. It's like, oh, if you don't abuse me to this certain level, then you're not respectable. Well, I'm sorry, that goes against everything that we're trying to say we want.
Exactly. And, I know good women and bad women. A lot of the good women I know will not tolerate disrespect. They will not tolerate abuse. But a lot of times on my videos, I know a lot of people seem like, well, you be going in. Yeah, because this is the problem that I see in our community as black people. It's too much. It's a lot of selfishness. It's a lot of hate, a lot of jealousy. And if we were all just honest with one another from the get-go and say, this is what I want, instead of lying to get what I want.
That's exactly right.
And to have realistic standards of a person.
You are preaching to the choir. You
These,
know, I'll tell you, it starts with the first date. You want to know if a woman's a liar? I'll tell you how you can tell a woman's a liar.
okay.
Take her out to a food dinner and have a buffet. If that woman eats whatever the fuck she wants, she's being honest with you. If that woman gets a little salad plate and nibbles on that little piece of lettuce, you know she's putting on a show for you, because not a one of us don't eat.
Hey, you know what I tell women? I say, listen, when we go out to eat, be yourself. I'm not gonna judge you, because I like to eat, and I don't want to eat 3 plates in front of you. If I eat 3 plates, eat and enjoy yourself.
Hells yeah, I agree. But you know, it is this. You want to know what bothers me? I'm going to tell you what bothers me. It's like, I wanted to really engage with you in a particular thread that you had one time, and you and I know which thread I'm talking about, but we're not going to identify it to the group. And I made a statement that was clearly morally correct. I don't give a shit who you are. You and I both know that that's comes down to a moral standard, not anything else but a moral standard. And I was attacked 6 ways from Sunday, and their biggest attack was Karen. Bitch, I ain't got time for the word Karen.
Exactly.
You know, if you want to have an intellectual conversation and really discuss the issues that are actually dividing everybody, not just people in one community versus another community,
Exactly.
it's across the board. We've got to learn to have these uncomfortable conversations. Somebody said something to me, and I never understood it until I fell into that thread of yours. And this is the gospel truth. Somebody said to me, there is a group of people, and you know who I'm talking about, who seem to be above reproach. And I said, that doesn't make sense to me. And then I ended up in that thread. You know which one.
Yeah. And
that was when it finally hit me who they were talking about, and absolutely right. And I don't understand it.
This is the problem in the Black community. We've had discussions on this, and it followed according to Ira. She podcasts with us. She has her own show. She even said it herself. Black women are above accountability. Yeah. As Black men, if we say anything to them, where they shut us down, don't respect us, they'll attack your character like the ladies in the thread. All I was doing was commenting and putting up comments and talking about what's going on between Black and Black men and Black women. And when they started attacking me, I said, okay, you know what? I'm not giving you any more attention on your page, because I'm trying to have a discussion with you. Right. And I'm not, if you watch my videos, I don't cuss at these women. Right. I don't disrespect any of them. I think that you come in, okay, this is what I've noticed. And remember, I told you I had to look at a lot of your videos to understand the concept of, because there was so much other side drama that I had to get through the drama to see the message. And you come across very open-minded. You do not point fingers in any direction, but you trigger an intellectual topic. And in triggering that intellectual topic, it seems to offend people. And that's the part that I don't understand. Like, we all sit here and say we want things to be different, but nobody wants to have the hard conversations to make things different. Because they don't want to have to take accountability for their actions to attract better people. Exactly. If men and women, this is for men and women both. Yes. Black men and women both. If neither of you take accountability for your actions and you keep doing the same shit, you're not going to get a better person. No, exactly. What's that old saying? Insanity's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's what's happening. I call it the revolving door in the Black community. It's a revolving door. The same quote unquote men that ain't shit keep getting all the good women pregnant, marrying them, side chicks. It's a revolving door, because the women won't stop messing with these jackasses. And the jackass know I can get these women being an idiot. They're going to keep on being an idiot. Well, and see, here's the thing that I found so offensive about that particular topic you and I talked about, was that nobody wanted to talk about the fact that in the 1980s, Biden and everybody wrote a whole cast of laws and locked up a generation of brown men.
In
Yes.
doing so, you created felonies. Therefore, a whole generation of brown men could not get those high-paying professional jobs because they had felonies on their records. And they couldn't vote because of the felony on their record. So we not only mooted them, but we prevented them from being successful professionally.
Exactly.
And nobody wants to talk about that. So
Exactly.
y'all want to sit here and say, well, the brown man's broke. Well, maybe you should go look in the mirror and figure out why he's broke. He's broke because you cut him off at the knees and then expected him to succeed.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I agree with half of that. The reason why.
Okay.
We're in a different day now.
Yeah.
All of us can go to school, get an education.
Yep.
Even if you have a felony, they have jobs for felons.
Yep.
I know the white man is trying to hold something over me. It's not going to work in 22 because there's vocational schools, there's trade schools. They will pay you to go to school and pay for your.
You're absolutely right. But when I bring that argument up, it is to say that you have a whole generation of children that were raised during that. And in observing that, they created this systematic way of thinking that in 2022 is cutting all of the brown men off of the knees. And the reason I say brown, and people always ask me this, why don't you call them black people? Because black means void of color. You are not void of color. You're beautiful shades of brown. I just refuse to do so. So if you hear me say brown, if it offends anyone, I'm sorry. That's just the word I use.
Okay. Got you. Yeah. But the thing is, with today's unrealistic standards, the men don't realize that they have very unrealistic standards, but I have to be honest. And this is really what about to trigger. If y'all watching, women, y'all have more unrealistic standards than anybody. I mean, absolutely ridiculous.
You're breaking up, babe.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can now. Okay, go ahead.
I said the women, nobody has more unrealistic standards than women.
That's right.
Absolutely. The things you know what scares me? They actually believe the things that is coming out of their mouth.
Yes. Yes. Well, you know what they say in psychology? They say that when somebody hears their own voice say something, it's more real than if anybody else says it to them.
Well, I guess so, because our community is not as bad as people perceive it online.
Right.
They make it seem like the black community is so terrible. Go to one of the black communities. It's not that bad. Because also in the black community, there are so many black women are the leading entrepreneurs. Just about every black woman I know that I'm friends with owns something, own a business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's not as bad. If you go to the black community, all of the black men ain't thugs. They're not all on drugs. You know what I'm saying? It's just
That's right.
Most of the time you go to the black community, it's a peaceful gathering.
Yes.
Now you might go to some places where of course it's gonna be bad, just like in the other communities they have bad areas. Right. But that doesn't mean
everybody. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but let me get back to these unrealistic standards. The biggest unrealistic standard for our women in the black community I see is their financial standards for men to have. That is they don't want men that make 50, 60 grand. This is what they want. They either want a bum so they can control them, or they want a man who can take care of everything. Okay, you know what? Let's work together and build something. They don't want that. They don't want you to be a bum or to be rich.
But see, what you just said is the power in everything. It's the nuts and the bolts of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Being broke is not a permanent condition. It ebbs and flows with our lives. Who we're with, how we build, so on and so forth.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm washing clothes, so forgive me if you see me.
You are choosing a wallet, not a man.
But the thing is, you're absolutely right. If we could get in our community, if we can get people to be more realistic and to accept both as I am, because this is the double standard. With women, we are supposed to accept them as they are, meaning no matter their situation, who they're with, their living situation, their financial. But men can't be accepted as they are.
That's
Men have to
exactly
make
right.
all this. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
that is a double standard that keeps us pretty much apart.
So
And
how do
not
we
to,
change that?
well, for one, the women need to change their unrealistic standards. I'm gonna be honest. The women in our community have more power than the men do, right? Anytime you hear black men speak, you can witness it from TikTok. As soon as we open our mouth, we get shut down.
I've
That's
seen
the
it.
problem. They don't respect us unless we have money in our pocket. They don't respect you as a man, and that is the only community. It's sad. So they have to change their unrealistic standards of a man and look at their current situation and say, well, I don't have the best situation, so how can I judge him?
Well, that's
Not
just
all of them
it.
do that,
W-
but
Well, that's just it. You think a woman with 4 kids has a right to tell you what kind of income you should be making?
I don't think so. But guess what? They got what we want, so that's why, because they got that thing between their legs, so they think they can just go ahead and make the. And I said this yesterday. If you look, I did a Stitch video with this lady, and she did a Stitch on me talking about don't compare yourself to women. I said, for one, a man like me will never compare myself to women. Men and women are different. We're not equal. We
Yep,
do different things. And then she
that's
said,
right.
well, our vagina is so golden. I said, all y'all vagina ain't golden. And that's the problem. Stop thinking that all y'all stuff is gold. You can get what you want. And that's not how it works.
No. And not only that, women are not your children.
But you know
If
what? But if you look at the standards and how what men are supposed to do, we are supposed to take care of them like they are children.
no.
Because listen, when you get married, their father gives them away to you, right? Her father is now saying
Right.
this is your responsibility. And
Okay.
as a man, if you listen to any of the women on here that tell you what a man is supposed to do, if you listen to the requirements, it is the same requirements as taking care of a child. You
How do
have to
you respect
provide
that?
this, huh?
How do you respect that?
I can't. Me personally, I can't. And I get into arguments with my female friends all the time. They say, "Oh, you're gonna be by yourself." That's fine with me because if I have to take care of you 100% financially, I don't want to be bothered with you because I got 4 kids and
Yeah.
I don't need a fifth.
We're repeating. There's an echo, so I'm gonna hang up.
Okay, do this. Look into your messages and do what I sent you in a message, and we'll talk later. And you'll come on our podcast later. Okay.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you.
Bye, babe.
So for all right, that was Peak Here Old Lady. Y'all make sure y'all follow her, okay? And I'm gonna get off here.